And we're live. Are we live? Live na ba? Let's see. Uh-huh. Oh yeah, we're live. So, ayun na. Shoutout kay Tigress, kay Real Talk, and Sina Mosea. Those are my homies. So, first time kong mag-live ngayon and teka lang. I'm having technical difficulties. Wait lang guys ha. Alright. Kasi sa phone ko lang kasi ito ginagawa eh. Sinira kasi ng mga little banditos yung laptop ko and my iPad. So I have to do this on my phone. So today, may special guest tayo. I'm sure kilala nyo na siya, si Ring Road Map, also known as the Boxing Genius. Yun yung pangalan niya dati. He does film studies and then nag-aano din siya. Gumagawa din siya ng mga tips para sa mga boxers. Actually, boxer talaga siya. And I like that he's doing this. Alam naman natin na ngayon, yung state ng YouTube boxing community, medyo magulo. Ang daming away-away, ang daming kalokohan, ang daming drama. So, we wanna bring it back to boxing a bit. Kaya, nagpapasalamat ako sa guest natin kasi pumayag siya na magpa-interview, makausap natin. Alright, so ipasok ko na siya. Oh wait, how do I do this? Yo!
Yo, ba't ako lang yung kita? Hindi kita yung mukha mo.
Ayun.
Kala ko na
Mahirap.
wala.
So, pwede mo ba explain kung sino ka and what do you do here?
Okay. Well, hindi dati hanggang ngayon, actually. Isa po akong amateur boxer na gumagawa ng mga breakdowns. Ayan, mahilig ako mag-analyze ng mga laban. And I do it in a methodical way kasi napakadaming talk shows ngayon na talagang walang basihan yung kanilang mga analysis. I hate to say it. There are a lot of pseudo-analysts who trick you into subscribing to them and to following them without any prior experience, without any first-person experience as to how it is to fight and to step on the ring. Hindi nila alam yung pakiramdam. And I'll explain later yung mga lessons na natutunan ko as a practitioner and why practicing boxing, bakit yung pagboboxing mismo na ikaw yung nakaka-experience gives you an edge when it comes to studying boxing and when it comes to understanding the sport. There is a certain edge that practitioners have na yung mga regular fans hindi nila maiintindihan. So I really like putting out content from a point of view of a practitioner and someone who actually trains, someone who actually spars, someone who actually competes. At yun yung isang bagay na nakikita kong lacking sa Philippine boxing. Yeah.
So, actually, I've known you for almost a year na, di ba? Actually, kasama tayo.
Yung una mong comment ay dun sa Casimero nung hindi pa siya
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, nung hindi pa siya, and then I was surprised na, actually, kala ko, hindi ko akalain na,
all of a sudden.
Yeah, hindi ko akalain na Pilipino, bro. Kala ko negro ka.
Nakukuha ko yan lagi.
Nakukuha mo lagi. So, alam ko na you have students, di ba may Patreon ka, meron kang students na sinabi mo sa akin meron kang parang kino-coach or tinuturuan remotely from LA, di ba? Taga Wildcard?
Not anymore, hindi lang ngayon.
Pero dati. So,
yeah. Yung
so,
ngayon is Vegas and then UK. Taga Vegas tapos taga UK.
Amateur boxers or professional?
They are all amateurs. They are 2 from Vegas. It is one from UK and then uh, one from Canada.
Ah.
Mm.
So, as you can see guys, this guy is for real, is legit. Hindi lang siya, sabi, sabi ni Sinamoseo,
There's a
please no N-word.
uh,
Loko-loko talaga.
tingnan ko mga comment. Ayun. Pwede pala makikita.
Ayun. How do I highlight the comments? Ayun. Tama.
Please naman. Ngayon ko lang nabasa. Okay.
So, gaano ka na katagal nagpa-boxing?
7 years. Actually, it's a funny story, no? Hindi alam ng mga magulang ko nung una na nagbo-boxing ako. Because I was self-taught. Sa bahay lang ako nagte-training dati nung ako'y 12. And then one day, I decided to buy a punching bag online. Tapos nagtawag ako ng dalawang kasama, binuhat namin papunta sa loob ng bahay. Nung nagtatrabaho yung magulang ko. So my parents did not see me like buy or purchase that particular heavy bag. Pinasok namin siya. We sneaked it inside my room. And then matagal na panahon bago nila nakita yon because my parents kind of value privacy, hindi nila pinapasok yung kwarto ko. So for a long time, nagte-training ako habang wala yung magulang ko sa bahay. Kasi pag nag-training ako na nandun sila sa bahay, maririnig nila yung tunog ng heavy bag. So they'll be like, kailan pa nagka-punching bag dito? So manonotice nila agad. And it was a secret for a while until they finally saw my room. Tapos nakita nila na may punching bag. Sabi nila, ba't ka bumili ng ganyan? And I was like, para lang sa fitness. I did not actually tell them that I wanted to compete. Pero nung nag-aral
Yeah.
na ako sa QC, may malapit na gym doon na ako nagsimula. And then yun na, pinayagan na nila ako mag-compete after that kasi yung mismong coach ko na yung tumawag sa kanila. Tapos sabi, gusto po mag-compete ng anak niyo, sabi nila. Magaling ba yan? Magaling ba talaga yan? And then the coach was like, yes, magaling siya. Kasi hindi sila naniniwala until my coach actually told them na meron akong
ang ibang mga, you know, parang mga binata, they sneak in, you know, girls, pero ikaw punching bag yung dinala mo sa bahay.
Yeah, tapos later on, dinagdagan ko na ng double N bag, tapos mga yeah.
Bakit mo tinago sa parents mo?
Well, because I came from an academic family, tulad ng karamihan ng mga Pilipino. It's either you're a lawyer, a doctor, you know. Kaya as an athlete, they didn't really believe in being successful by being an athlete. Tingin nila temporary lang
Yeah.
yon. Pagkatapos mo mag-retire, wala nang pera, wala nang kikitain. So it wasn't a smart decision sa opinion nila dahil ang mga atleta nga, ang lifespan lang ng success usually is until 40s. After you turn 40, wala na talaga yung success. Karamihan bumabagsak na. That's the start of their downfall after they retire. Kaya they are big on doubting kung talagang magandang path ba yung pagiging atleta kasi may expiration date yung katawan ng isang atleta, and it's a big risk.
Yeah, actually yung katawan natin, mas unang bumibigay kaysa sa utak. Most of the time. So ano yung mo? Ano yung plano mo dito sa pagbaboxing? You're still pursuing your studies, right?
Yes. So I'm taking a pre-law course. Ang mangyayari kasi dito, after ng 4 years, I'd have to decide between law school or boxing or both. Kasi meron akong mga kakilala na ginawa both, and it's like, how the fuck did you do that? Like for example, Cesar Juarez. Have you heard of Cesar Juarez?
Cesar
Yeah,
Juarez?
Cesar Juarez is the one who fought Donaire, and siya yung nagpatumba kay Pagara.
Yeah,
Pagara.
yeah.
Yung Mexicano, he actually decided to do it both at the same time. He was studying at law school. Nung kalagitnaan ng laban niya kay Donaire, he was studying in law school. And I'm like, paano niya nagawa yan? And so, yeah, after 4 years, I'll have to decide. I still want to compete in these 4 years na upcoming kasi ako ay freshman po sa college. Siguro maraming nag-iisip mas matanda pa ako dahil sa pananalita ko. Pero yeah, I'm only a freshman in college. Yeah.
May gatas pa to sa labi. Pero subok naman. Di ba? And actually, maganda yan na nag-aaral ka, and then I think it will help you in boxing also if ever you decide to turn pro, hindi ka maloloko sa negotiation and all that. Anong branch of law ba ang inaano mo? Yung corporate?
Right now, hindi wala pa ako sa law school. I'm still in pre-law, so it's a legal
Ah,
management. Ita-take mo 'to ng 4 years, and then you'll have to take the PhilSat para sa law
mm.
school. Mhm.
May nagsabi to gawin ko daw mod. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to do that yet.
Oo, ako din, 'di ko alam.
Talag hindi pa ako marunong talagang this is all new to me. Kasi
I
sanay
think
ako na
yan. Meron ba yung tatlong
san
dots sa right side?
yeah, put
Tingin ko
user
dyan
on
i-gusto mo yan.
timeout at saka block user lang ang meron.
Ay,
So
wala.
I'm really sorry guys. I'll have to figure it out. Sanay na sanay kasi ako na ako yung nagsasalita lang, nag-share ng opinion ko. Hindi ko pa talaga to kapa ang StreamYard or YouTube.
Hmm.
Anyway, so alam naman natin na yung boxing kasi lalo na dito sa atin, it's a poor man's sport, 'di ba? And then ang mga players diyan, ang mga nagpa-participate, they're rough guys. Galing sa extreme poverty karamihan dito sa Visayas and Mindanao most of the time. Hindi ka ba kasi the way ka magsalita, halata namang hindi ka hindi ka katulad nila, 'di ba? Halatang may pag-aralan ka, halatang edukado ka, halatang like sa sinabi mo na you came from you know professional na yung pamilya mo, yung parents mo, they're very educated and academic. Hindi ka ba dinidiscriminate against? Hindi ka ba sinasabihan na sa mga kasparing mo, hindi ka ba sinasabihan na wala malambot to? O
Hindi,
baka
ganito
bilang
yan. It's not so much the richness or the wealth, it's more so the looks. Sinasabi nila, masyado kang pogi para maging boksingero. Save your face. Save your face for modeling. Sabi nilang gano'n. Save your face for modeling. Save your face for other things na magagamit mo yung kagwapuhan mo. Wag mo gamitin sa boxing. Masyado kang pogi para mag-boxing. But in terms of wealth, like social status, wala naman nagdi-discriminate sa akin. They don't really give a shit. It's more so the look. Sabi nila, masyado kang pogi para mag-boxing. It's ganun din sa mga babae. Pag may magandang nagbo-boxing, sinasabi nila, mag-model ka na lang. And yun yung naririnig ko usually.
may tanong ako sa iyo
Okay.
about sa experience mo sa gym kasi ito yung mga hindi natin napag-uusapan masyado eh. I've been on many boxing talk shows and then parang hindi masyado natatanong. May nakakasparing ka ba na professional boxer?
Yes, madami na. Well, I won't mention them all, but like the notable ones in the minimum weight are, Lito Dante and Vic Saludar. Hindi ko alam kung naaalala pa nila ako kasi itong mga professional boxers na to, you have to remember, they spar a lot of guys. So kadalasan nakakalimutan na nila yung mga nakasparring nila. They only recognize them kapag nakita nila yung mukha, not by the name. Like if you tell them the name of the sparring partner that they had 4 years ago, most likely hindi na nila maalala yun. So, ayan, hindi ko sigurado kung kilala pa nila ako ngayon, pero yeah, I did spar with those guys before. Those are like the notable ones sa minimum weight.
Kamusta naman? Ano yung mga napulot mo na lessons na sa sparring na yan?
Well,
Kamusta yung explain mo sa akin yung gym culture. Isama
okay,
mo yan.
well, there is a big misconception, no? Ang tingin ng mga tao, napaka-humble ng mga Pinoy boxers. If you go to the gym, there are a lot of guys na napakalaki ng ego. Napaka-arrogante. The only reason why they appear humble pag tumungtong sila sa ibang bansa kasi hindi sila marunong mag-English. Paano sila magyayabang? Paano sila mag-aangas? Okay, so we never get to see that side of them kasi merong language barrier. But if you look at their actions, makikita mo talaga merong arrogance, merong ego itong mga Pinoy boxers na hindi natin nakikita sa TV. And if you start meeting them, usually, like halimbawa na lang meron akong kasparing tapos natalo ko siya tapos medyo higher level siya sa akin. Most of these guys will tell me, pinagbigyan lang kita. That's how big their ego is. They cannot accept the fact that an amateur boxer was able to win against them in sparring. Pinagbigyan lang kita, hindi ko sineryoso, and this is the usual thing that you'll hear from them. Totoo po ito, hindi ito, you won't know this until you meet these boxers in person, up close. Napakadami sa kanila, malalaki talaga yung ego. That's why a lot of Pinoy boxers never make it to the top. It's not because of opportunities. Most of the time, it's just because of their fucking ego. Napakalaki.
I mean, I'm sure marami kang nakasparring ng mga Bisaya or mga taga Mindanao. And, talagang, we mga Bisaya, we carry ourselves with a lot of pride and a lot of bravado a lot of times, especially if pupunta dyan sa Manila. May konting rivalry kasi, di ba, mga Tagalog at saka mga Bisaya. Some Cebuanos or mga Bisaya, we think you guys are soft.
Ay, ganun ba? Okay.
Oo, ganun na. Pag umuulan, nagpapayong. Dito kasi wala. Iba yung iba yung kultura, I guess. So, makukwento mo ba yung some sparring experience mo? You can mention names if you want. I won't mind.
Okay. Well,
may nasaktan ka ba sa sparring or kwento mo kung sino yung nakasakit sa'yo?
Well, I like to live by the quote, what happens in sparring stays in sparring. So para sa dahilan or dahil doon, hindi ko nababanggitin yung mga pangalan. But I'll just tell you the first time I got knocked down, okay? It was with a liver shot. Well, here's how it went. Meron akong nakasparring that I studied. Meron akong nakasparring that I studied in the gym kasi lagi ko siya nakakasabay mag-training na aaral ko yung galaw niya pag nag-i-sparring at nakikita ko, parang mabagal naman, hindi naman magaling. And this is the big lesson that you will learn once you actually spar with someone. Everything moves so much faster. What you see from a third person point of view is not the same as the thing that you'll experience from a first person point of view. Ibig sabihin, pag nanonood ako from afar, siguro sasabihin ko, ang bagal ng boksingerong yun. Pero pag nakasparring ko na siya, everything moves so much faster. And the punches na tingin ko kaya kong depensahan, hindi ko na depensahan. And so there was this thing where he set me up with a left hook to the head first, left hook sa ulo, and then he went down to the body. Nung pinapanood ko siya, napakabagal ng hook niya. And then nung natamaan na ako, parang paano nangyari yun? Paano ko hindi nakita yung suntok na yun? It's because what we see from a third person point of view is different from the first person experience. Everything moves so much faster kapag nasa ring ka na. At yun yung hindi nakikita ng mga fans. Sasabihin ng mga fans, ang bagal ng boksingerong yun. Well, try sparring with them. Everything will move 10 times faster. At yung respeto mo sa mga boksingero tataas talaga. So yun yung na-experience ko nung pinapanood ko yung mga suntok niya, napakabagal. But that was from a third person point of view. Nung nakaharap ko na siya, face to face, it was different. What happened? Well, ganun talaga.
Ano kaya yung explanation nun, no? Is it...
Hindi ko
Bakit from... Hindi mo rin alam? Ano kaya yan, no?
Yeah.
I thought na dahil mataas yung adrenaline mo, pag may kinakalabang ka, parang babagal yung suntok nila, makikita mo lahat. Pero iba pala. Maybe it's your head, no? The way it operates while you're inside the ring. At saka merong threat na in front of you. Paano kaya yan?
Siguro.
So, about sa sparring, session mo. Pulverizer?
Somebody
hindi.
Para daw
no,
hindi ko kilala.
Hindi si Pulverizer yan. Kilala ko yun. He goes up on people's stream sometimes. And parang may gusto siyang makalaban dito sa YouTube boxing world. Anyway, hindi si Pulverizer to. This is the boxing genius, aka the boxing nerd, aka Ring Roadmap. So, what do you go by? Which name? Anong gusto mong itawag ng tao sa'yo?
I'll just go with the Ring Roadmap. Walang problema.
Yeah. Ring Roadmap. So, ito yung gusto kong malaman.
Okay.
May napabagsak ka na ba sa sparring na pro fighter na sa tingin mo hindi mo kaya nung una, and nasaktan mo siya, and how did it go?
Madami na. Okay, ganito. Well, the thing about boxing is all of it is mental. With the more respect you have for your opponent, the less likely you are to be able to hurt them. You know, kaya when I go into the ring, I come in with a fresh memory. I don't try to look at their boxing record. Tas titignan ko, uy, nakalaban niya na to, nakalaban niya na yon. Whenever I spar someone, I try to remove myself or prevent myself from looking at their credentials. So I'll give you
Yeah.
an example. When I face a minimum weight champ, I did not look at his credentials bago kami mag-sparring. I looked at it afterwards when I finally got a taste of his power and when I finally got a taste of how he moved. Hindi ko ginawa yun bago because if you do it beforehand, then your respect for that particular person will go up kasi makikita mo yung credentials. Uy, grabe, ang dami yan ang nakalaban na high-level pros.
Mhm.
But if you prevent yourself from doing that, then the respect will go down. Kaya sa tingin ko karamihan nun is mental. We just think that these boxers are invincible. Tingin natin hindi natin kayang saktan 'tong mga boksingero na 'to. But in reality, we actually have the ability to do it, with the right training and with the right consistency, with the right game plan. We can hurt these guys even though they're higher level than us. We might not be able to beat them, but we can at least hurt them once or twice. Kaya yun yung natutunan ko sa pag-i-sparring sa mga pros. Most of these guys, I know damn well na kapag katungtong ko sa ring, wala akong pag-asa dito. But my goal is just to hurt them once or twice, and that's enough. I can walk out and be proud of it. But a lot of guys, they don't even look at it that way. They look at it, they climb in the ring, they go up in the ring, tas talo na agad sila. Their body language is already in the losing state. Their
Yeah.
movement is already in the losing state, and they have too much respect for the guy. Like that's not how it works here.
Exactly. Parang nung si Dasmariñas when he fought Inoue, when I saw the way in, yung face off nila, I knew na tapos na yung laban talaga. Even Inoue, he smiled. Kasi nung nag-face off sila, and Dasmariñas looked at his eye and then averted his gaze. Napakabilis.
Oh.
Talaga, alam mo na takot na talaga.
Well,
So hindi ka nagpapasindak.
no.
Or
Thing
you
is,
don't
kay
want.
Dasma. Si Dasma
Or
kasi I know him from a lot of guys, from a lot of third party, yun ba yung tawag doon? Yeah. I know from a lot of third party people, no, na nakasparring ko na rin. I never sparred him directly kasi malayo yung gym niya. It's in halimutan ko na kung saan yung gym niya. But it's in Art Mones. Yeah, Art Mones. At yun nga, hindi ko siya nakasparring kahit kailan, but I've heard stories from him and I know how strong the guy is. Kaso yun, ang tingin ko talaga doon sa Inoue fight, it's more mental than physical. Kasi kung titignan mo yung movement niya nung mga early rounds, okay. Okay yung footwork niya, nagagawa niya lahat ng gusto niyang gawin, but he was too afraid to commit on his shots at hindi niya nakuha yung respeto ni Inoue. So, it was
yeah.
mental. It was mental.
Before we continue, gusto ko lang i-shout out yung mga nakikinig sa atin. Sila Madcat, hello. It's nice to see you here. Sila Al Ryan, Pachiva Singson, Tigress, Pasto, Delorde, and sino pa ba? Basta, kayo lahat. Thank you for coming here. Sa first podcast ni Mahalika, Mahal Kita.
Ayun.
Anyway, I think gustong mapakinggan ng mga tao kung anong opinion natin sa Donaire versus Casimero. Alam ko na sa hindi nakakaalam na pag-usapan na namin to dati. I mean, I was supposed to go to his live stream pero nagkaroon ng problema yung internet ko. So, hindi ako nakapunta. Pero puntahan nyo lang yung ano niya, yung channel niya na Ring Roadmap. Marami talaga kayong matututunan. Face reveal, gusto ka nila makita.
Meron sa channel. Tingnan mo.
Meron. Makita nyo siya doon. Kumakanta din to. He's got some sweet baritone.
Yup.
Wala, baka
Kasi,
multi-talented to si Ring Roadmap. So anyway,
okay, nasan na tayo?
Donaire versus Casimero. Ito muna pag-usapan natin. Medyo juicy siya. Sino sa tingin mo mananalo?
Well, meron na akong dalawang video nito. One is a live stream, one is a breakdown. And in both, Casimero will win, for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's the mental state of Casimero cannot be taught. That that ability to have zero respect for your opponent cannot be taught. Like,
Mhm.
are you an avid follower of Marvin Hagler, for example? No,
Me? No, not
Hagler.
really, but yeah, but I've watched his fights.
Okay, so Hagler had a rule. Sabi niya, I have to dislike my opponent before I accept the fight. So I have to find something in him that I absolutely hate. Sabi niya ganyan. And that's the same thing with Casimero. Casimero has zero respect for his opponents because he genuinely doesn't like the guys that he's fighting. He doesn't like Inoue, he doesn't like Donaire. And even if they meet in person, shake hands, I don't think
Mhm.
he's really sincere about being friends with these guys. And yun yung mentality na nakikita ko kay Casimero na it traces back to the old days. Back in the day, boxers hated each other, but now you'd see them shaking hands, hugging each other. What the fuck is this? This is not a friendly sport. We're not supposed to hug each other. Hindi tayo nandito para makipagkaibigan. And so Casimero is a rare breed in a way because
Mhm.
talagang ayaw niya sa mga kalaban niya. And that carries over to how he fights. He fights like he doesn't want this guy to get out alive. He doesn't want the guy to get out alive. And so, yeah, if he gets a taste of Donaire's power, it might change. Pero sa nakikita ko talaga, walang respeto si Casimero kay Donaire. And that mental state of Casimero can really help him. Yung pangalawa, well, I've already spoke about this, but it's the stance of Casimero. He's bladed, he stays away from the center, and this is like in terms of punch selection, yung mga suntok na itatama ni Donaire, hindi ito tatama ni Casimero because he's so far away. Pangatlo
Uh-huh.
ay yung yeah, pangatlo ay yung strength ni Casimero. If you look at the Frampton fight, yung laban ni Donaire kay Frampton, you'll see one of the weaknesses of Donaire. He gets pushed back easily. Same thing doon kay
Mhm.
Inoue. Pero si Inoue kasi palatakbo, sinayang niya yung chance. But honestly, I think Inoue could have pushed or Donaire around if he wanted to. Kaso masyado siyang nagkaroon ng respect. So the strength of Casemiro will push Donaire back. And what will this do? Ang mangyayari dito, mawawala yung legs ni Donaire. If you look at the Fury versus Wilder fight, ang dami nagrereklamo. Ba't ba puro yakap si Fury? Ba't ba? Look, he's doing that for a reason. He's doing that because he wanted to take away the legs of Wilder. Okay, so every time na matutulak siya palikod, every single muscle in his legs has to contract to resist that pushing force. Okay, kaya ang mangyayari dun
Mhm.
ay unti-unting mapapagod yung legs and later on hindi na siya makakagalaw masyado. Hindi na siya gaano magkakaroon ng puwersa sa mga shots niya. That's why if you look at the later parts, puro na lang talaga arm punches yung binabato ni Deontay Wilder. Wala ng puwersa sa legs, wala ng lower body momentum at, yun yung plano talaga ni Fury right from the beginning.
Maano ko lang kay about Donaire, he's a come forward fighter. Actually, he's aggressive counter
Yeah,
puncher, 'di ba? Pero in order to do what he does best, you have to push him back para mawala yung forward momentum niya, 'di ba? Kasi yun yung gustong mangyari ni Donaire. And then he's not a very good back foot fighter, unlike Casemiro na he likes to counter off of a back foot. And then ang galing din niya mag-wrestling on the inside, 'di ba? Medyo talagang madugas ng konti. Do you agree?
tama, tama. Tama, you take away the space of Donaire, he's done. He needs space in order to have power on his punches. You take away that, he's done. And this is what Casemiro is best at. He's best at smothering, he's best at wrestling on the inside. When you give Donaire very little space to operate in, he's done. Look at the Juarez fight, the Cesar Juarez fight. Look at the
Mhm.
Frampton fight. Juarez is not really a great boxer, pero nung nagkaroon siya ng lakas na loob na lumapit kay Donaire, walang nagawa si Donaire because he had little space to operate in. 'Pag tinanggalan mo ng espasyo si Donaire para makasuntok, he's done. That's the formula in a nutshell.
Ang sinasabi ni sa mga in case na hindi naintindihan ng iba, yung sinasabi niyang espasyo to kasi Donaire, there's a certain space na napaka-effective niya. It's in middle, 'di ba?
Tama, tama.
Yeah. Pag tinanggal mo yon katulad yung ginawa ni Nicholas Walters, yung his mother, Donaire, and then he pushed them back. Dun siya na knockout, di ba? And then
Tama.
si Frampton din, kinontrol yung lead hand ni Donaire. Hindi niya mapakawalan yung left hook niya, di ba? And,
Go on.
yeah.
Akala ko meron pa.
Because, si Casimero kasi, he's the type of guy na yung fighting, he has a lot of his good fighter's instincts. Tapos yung style niya talagang, he's not a typical boxer. Ang gusto niya lang talaga, he's a street fighter. He wants to hit you where it hurts as fast as possible. He wants to break you down. Lahat ng pinapakawalan niya, most of the time, napakalakas. He doesn't waste his time, setting up stuff with the jab. Di ba nga you pointed this out, yung fight niya with Duke Maika and sino yun? Si Zolani Tete
Tete.
combined. He landed 0 jabs.
Sinabi na rin yan sa ibang ano.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sinabi na rin yan sa ibang channel. He had 0 jabs. At ang dami nagkikritik kay Casimero for having no jab. Pero sa totoo lang, he doesn't have it because he doesn't need it. Just like how, women do not need to be funny because they don't need it. It's the same way for Casimero. He doesn't need to have the fundamentals because he doesn't need it. Well, this is debatable, pero we've seen Casimero fight the highest level guys without the fundamentals and be all good. Ngayon ang tanong, if he adds the fundamentals, will he be better or will he be worse off of it? It's a long discussion, but yun yung kinatatakot ko kasi kapag dinagdagan mo ng fundamentals si Casimero, it will ultimately kill the essence of his unorthodox style. Kapag dinagdagan mo siya
Yeah.
ng textbook na mga galawan, where will his unorthodox style go? Baka mawala na 'to at, hindi na siya maging katulad ng dati.
Yeah, pwede siguro i-refine siya a little bit, diba? Parang Manny Pacquiao.
Pwede,
Parang there's similar fighters, diba? Masyado. They're very unorthodox, pero very effective. Pero
Tama.
when that's why Freddie Roach polished him a bit, and he just kept evolving. Depende lang sa nakalaban niya, diba? So
Tama.
how do you think Donaire, how do you defeat a guy like Casimero?
Okay.
What do you think Donaire can do?
Okay, so here it is in a nutshell. He needs to sinabi ko na 'to sa stream ko pero ulitin ko na lang dito. Well, first off, you need to allow Casimero to get close in the early rounds. Me personally, I think Donaire should be the one going forward and Casimero should be the mover, okay, in the early rounds. Why is that? Because I want Casimero to smother Donaire in a way that he can avoid that forward pressure. If Donaire does not apply the forward pressure, then Casimero will have no reason to smother him. Okay? So, una sa lahat, kailangan niyang palapitin si Casimero. They need to get on the inside, even though this is not in his style. This is just a deceptive tactic. And then later on, he needs to catch Casimero off guard by stepping back and then setting up his long-range punches. Ibig sabihin, hayaan niya munang lumapit sa kanya si Casimero, yumakap. Because after a while, Casimero becomes confident in his smothering. Ibig sabihin, pagkatapos niya bumato ng kanan, anong gagawin? Yakap agad. Parang si Tyson Fury. Pagkatapos ng kanan, yakap
Yeah.
agad. Now, when you deceive him in a way that he resorts to that option all the time, ang mangyayari, Donaire can make a slight adjustment later on and he can step back. He can start stepping back. He can start managing the distance. And ang dami nagsasabi flat-footed si Donaire. I don't necessarily think so. If you look at the Inoue fight and the Ubali fight, napakalaki ng difference. The Ubali fight, he was moving, he was mobile. The Donaire fight or the Inoue fight, he was flat-footed. Why is that? Because it's a matter of choice for him. Donaire has two sides. He has the side that is mobile, that is agile, and then he has the side that is developed by Robert Garcia, the flat-footed one, the one that doesn't move his head, the one that doesn't defend himself, the one that just goes hands up straight forward. So every fight it changes dahil meron siyang two sides and these two sides are constantly fighting each other. Magiging Mexican style ba ako, magiging slick fighter. Kasi tinuruan siya both eh. Kaya ngayon naglalaban yung dalawang sides niya kada laban. At
Yeah.
it's a matter of choice for him.
Actually, hindi ko masyadong nagustuhan yung ano eh, yung when he hooked up with Robert Garcia. I didn't like that flat-footed come forward style ni Donaire. Lalo-lalo na lumalaki yung mga kalaban niya. I just don't think it suited him. Mas gusto ko yung very mobile, yung parang Roy Jones. You saw that one of his fights, yung na-knockout niya in the fourth round. Forgot who that guy is.
Hindi ba si
Yung
Dante
parang he
Chin?
was no,
Di
no,
ba?
not that
Or
Chin. He was shuffling, he was shifting. It looked really nice, parang Roy Jones.
okay.
Na-knockout niya in four
Hindi rin
rounds.
si Montiel?
No, no, not Montilla.
Iba,
It's
iba.
another Mexican. Yeah, yeah, iba.
Might be different. Yeah.
But it was very, very flashy. Gustong gusto kong ganun. My favorite type of fighters kasi yung mga, I love, freak athletes like Manny Pacquiao or Muhammad Ali, Roy Jones, or even Prince Nassim Hamed. I like those styles.
Ayaw mo sa
Na
Mexican.
very, ha? Gusto ko
Ayaw mo
rin
sa
yung
Mexican?
Mexican.
Okay.
Na, of course I do. Pero very elegant kasi yung mga Mexicans din, di ba? Yung style nila.
Tama.
Like Julio Cesar Chavez or Canelo Alvarez, they look very elegant. Pero gusto ko yung yung super flashy,
Oh my God.
hindi by the books type of styles. I enjoy that.
Tama.
So anyway, Nonito Donaire. Let's go back to Nonito Donaire. You were saying yung mga ano niya, 'di ba? His keys to victory. Sabi mo wag bigyan ng space. Ano pa?
Para kanino to? Kay Donaire or kay Kasim?
Yeah, Donaire.
Donaire. Okay. Well, the second one, in my opinion, is he needs to be. Okay, this is contradictory. Well, he needs to be the aggressor in the early rounds, and then he needs to be the boxer that he is in the late rounds. Pangalawang sasabihin ko dito is he needs to take advantage of the habit of Casimero of bending at the waist. Okay, so kung di
Mm,
nyo alam yung yeah, he needs to take advantage of that habit kasi napaka-susceptible nun sa mga kaliwang suntok. Left hook, left uppercut. So you can time him on his way down, honestly. And the only way you can do that is by throwing a punch that will force him to go down to that position, which is yung kanan. So kailangan niyang i-land yung kanan consistently para mapuwersa si Casimero na mag-bend pababa sa bewang niya. At from here, he can time him with a left hook or a left uppercut tulad nung ginawa niya kay Ubali. It was a left uppercut. So,
yeah.
yun yung talaga nakikita ko na pwede niyang i-take advantage kay Casimero. It is his bending at
That,
the waist.
that's interesting kasi I think na yun yung isa sa mga yung move ni Casimero na yun is isa one of the reasons bakit mananalo si Casimero.
How?
Lalo na pag nagdikitan sila, sabi nila don't hook with a hooker, 'di ba? And they're both very good left hookers. Si Casimero, I like, 'di ba, pag nagkakadikitan, he bends at the waist, hides at his left, 'di ba? And then he comes back with the left hook, moving backwards with all the momentum. I
Oh,
think si
yeah.
Donaire, pag nangyari
Donaire.
yun, lugi si Donaire. Kasi Donaire needs space, di ba? To throw that left hook.
Well, ang akin, he needs to initiate the attack. He needs to throw the right first. Tapos pag na-trap niya na si Casimero pag na-stuck si Casimero sa back foot, he can time him with an uppercut. Pero sa loob talagang mahirap. But on the outside, he can set it up with the right hand first. Pag bumaba si Casimero sa bewang niya, he can time him with a short hook or short uppercut.
Hmm.
But he needs space. Yun, kailangan niya ng space.
Personally, I think mananalo talaga si Casimero by knockout.
Knockout.
Mhm. Yung
Oh,
malaki yung...
tingin ko may tibay si Donaire. Tingin ko hindi.
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Kahit sa katawan?
Katawan, okay. Siguro. But I think he can last 12 rounds. Yeah.
You think so?
I still have a side of me that believes na durable si Donaire talaga. Kaya, yeah, siguro body shot. No? But headshots, I think his chin is tested enough to go 12
Yeah.
rounds.
Yeah. I think lang na Casimero will be able to break him down. He's too
Mm.
unorthodox, he's too explosive. And katulad sa sinabi mo sa napag-usapan natin dun sa live mo na Casimero actually, lahat ng mga na-knockout niya, he's knocked out his opponents by different punches, di ba? Hindi katulad ni Donaire na he has the left hook and then the left uppercut.
Oh, yun lang talaga
Explain.
kay Donaire, yeah.
Yeah, katulad nung, di ba, si Tete, he knocked him out with a right, a looping right hand. And then si Duke Maika, was it the left uppercut?
Left.
Yeah, left uppercut. And then si Yamashita, a right uppercut from a southpaw stance.
Sabay spin move.
Leap, spin
360.
move, di ba?
180 degree.
Shoryuken, di ba? And
Mm.
then, sino pa ba? Basta, he knocks people out with both hands from different types of punches. That's amazing.
Yes,
That only proves kung, oh, ano,
okay, may sinabi si Casimero dun sa na tinuruan ko dati sa wildcard because they actually got to meet. Sabi niya ganyan,
oh
you
yeah.
don't look for the knockout, it just comes your way. At tingin ko ito yung talagang dahilan kung bakit iba-iba yung suntok na ginagamit ni Casimero because he just goes with the flow. He does not try to
Yeah.
set up a punch. He does not go in the ring thinking, oy, ina-knockout ko siya gamit yung suntok na to, gamit yung suntok na yun. He just goes by the flow. You don't look for the knockout. It will come your way, sabi niya ganun. At yun
Mm.
yung tumatak dun sa amateur na tinuturuan ko dati.
Yeah, tama. And it shows na gaano siya ka-fluid, 'di ba? I like that he goes with the flow. Actually, kaya gustong-gusto ko mapanood yung Donaire versus Casimero is because both of them are perfect representations of ano yung martial art nila, yung style lang each countries, 'di ba? Like sabi nga ni Bruce Lee, martial arts is honestly expressing yourself. It has a lot to do with culture. Yung mga Japanese, they're very efficient, they're very fast, straight, direct to the point. Parang style ni Inoue, but very, very effective. Not a lot of nonsense. Mga Filipino martial arts naman, you know how Filipinos are very non-confrontational, pero pag umatake tayo is patagilid, patalikod. We're very tricky as a people. Katulad nung kaya na nahirapan yung mga Spanish conquistador sa atin kasi tungkol we have a lot of tricks. Parang si Casimero. Kaya gustong-gusto ko magkasalpukan yung dalawang style na yan. I'd love to watch that. Let's see kung sino yung mananaig. What about you? Casimero versus Inoue. Sino sa tingin mo mananalo and why?
I'll have to see Casimero fight someone first para makita ko. Kasi yung fight niya kay Rigondeaux, it gave him a bad reputation. But you guys have to remember, Rigondeaux is no joke. Like, ang daming nagsasabi pagkatapos ng laban niya kay Rigondeaux na hindi niya kaya si Inoue, hindi niya kaya to. It's two different styles, two different ways of fighting. And I think na kung si Inoue yung kumalaban kay Rigondeaux, mas mahirapan pa siya. Because he needs to plant his feet first before throwing his shot. Casimero doesn't need to plant his feet.
Yeah.
Rigondeaux will not give you that chance to plant your feet. So sa tingin ko mahirapan talaga si Inoue doon. Much more so than Casimero did. So ayan. I have to see him fight someone first bago ko i-judge.
There's a lot of talks of Casimero wasn't able to cut off the ring, di ba, after that fight. Pero sa tingin ko, he was able to cut off the ring, but he was just not able to pin him down. And that's hard to do if wala sa fighting stance yung kalaban mo, di ba? But it's just my opinion. What's your opinion on that subject?
Well, a lot of people say hindi siya magaling mag-cut off. I think he's one of the best. I really do. Like just try watching his sparring with Raymar Gaballo or sino pa yung mga try watching that. Napakagaling niya mag-cut off ng ring. Try watching his sparring with Jonas Sultan dun sa wildcard. If you look at his way of cutting off the ring, it's so good. Kaso talagang what happened was that Rigondeaux was very good at misdirection. He was misdirecting wherever he was planning on going. That wasn't what he showed. Kung gagalaw siya sa kaliwa, ipapakita niya na parang plano niyang gumalaw sa kanan, which I tackled this before. Pwede niyong tignan sa
Yeah.
channel ko. But he was misdirecting Casimero, and that is a rare ability to misdirect your opponent onto what direction you're going to, saang direction ka pupunta. That's a rare skill. That's why siguro nanibago si Casimero. Pero kung ibang kalaban yon, I think he would have cut off the ring easily. He would have cut off the ring easily. But Rigondeaux is a great fighter with great lateral movement. It's certainly
Mhm.
not as easy as most people think. Hindi ganun kadali. Kahit si Chavez nga who was one of the best back then, nung nakaharap niya si Meldrick Taylor, who was a great mover, like side to side, nahirapan din siya. So it's not just about, cutting off the
Yeah.
ring. It's also like, anong strategy ba yung ginagamit ng kalaban mo sa'yo para mahirapan ka? At sa tingin ko, hindi handa si Casimero doon sa ganong strategy ni Rigondeaux nung mga oras na yun.
I guess nagkamali si Casimero kasi because of his bravado, kung ano yung pinagsasabi niya, instead of making it happen, I mean, he allowed Rigon, tinakot niya kasi agad very first round. Dapat ginawa niya yung style ni Mito Donaire na, he'll pretend that he doesn't hit so hard and he gets you comfortable, and when you're comfortable, he attacks, like what happened sa Ubali fight.
Pinatikim niya na
Dapat
ng
ganun yung
agad. Uppercut. Tapos wala lang.
gulpi di gulat kasi si Casimero agad na nako. Ang taas pa naman ng survival instincts ni Rigondeaux. Dapat sinet up niya muna.
Magaling talaga
So,
siya magalo.
Yeah. Ito naman. So, napanood natin yung laban ni Navarrete was it last weekend?
Oh.
One of the best fights I've seen this year.
Mm-hmm.
How do you rate his performance in that fight?
It was terrible. It was dog shit. Kasi ganito, he
Really?
No, he's good, but he wasn't his usual self. It wasn't like the usual dominant Navarrete that we saw. Kasi
Yeah.
it was the first time that somebody forced him to move back, and he's not used to moving back. He's used to being the bully. Kaya nung napuwersa na siya na mag-backpedal at tumakbo-takbo at gumalaw-galaw, it was new to him. Although he dominated, don't get me wrong, pero it was the first time na nakita natin na nakakalaban yung kalaban niya. His opponent is able to fight back. At tingin ko, so that was it. It was dog shit, like from what relative. It was dog shit. Here's a better way to put it. It was dog shit relative to how he performed in the past. Okay, but it was good. In the absolute sense, it's good. It's a good performance.
Yeah, I was actually impressed na kaya niyang gawin yun. Before na sexual assault siya ni Gonzalez from all those low blows, he was actually parang tinira yung betlog niya, hinipuan siya ng hinipuan. But anyway, he was able to move laterally, and he was able to shift, and I saw him fight in southpaw, making him think. Pero yun nga lang, nawala na yung footwork niya, yung foot movement niya nung yun nga na tinira sa bayag. I mean, lahat naman siguro, pag mobile yung fighter, what you do is tanggalan mo ng gulong, di ba? Para hindi makagalaw. And kudos kay Gonzalez. He was really tough. He's a tough guy. And then he has a lot of resolve and will to win. Maganda yung pinakita niya. And I'm glad na somebody offered him, resistance. Kasi makita natin kung gaano siya kagaling, how he's gonna adapt kung hindi niya gusto yung mga nangyayari. So, based on sa nakita mo na performance ni Navarrete, how do you think Mark Magnifico magsayo does against him?
Okay. Magsasorry na ako in advance. I think Navarrete still beats Magsayo. Okay. And the reason why is because the reason why is because
Lagot
Everything
ka.
else besides like a move forward kind of fighter, Navarrete finds him easy to pick with. Bale, ang nangyari kasi dun, it was his first time facing someone who's so heavy on the front leg, who goes forward all the time with his hands up, hindi
Mhm.
takot matamaan. And because of this, nanibago siya. This is the antidote or this is the kryptonite for Navarrete. And unfortunately, Magsayo does not have that style. Siguro, in the future, tinetrain kasi siya ngayon ni Freddie Roach in a way that he's learning how to plant his feet more. He's learning how to sit down on his punches more. Tingin ko nasabi mo na dati, no? And so,
Mhm.
yeah, maybe in the future he can become a better pressure fighter. Pero with his style now, his slick style, moving side to side, I think Navarrete will pick him easily or will pick on him easily. I think Navarrete will beat him, and yeah, he's gonna need to learn how to fight on his front leg if he's gonna have a chance against Navarrete. He needs to have the ability to hit or to receive some shots, which we've never seen, honestly. Ti How many times have you seen Magsayo get hurt? Like, not a lot kasi karamihan ng nakakalaban niya punching bag. Hindi marunong lumaban pabalik. You know, it was nung laban niya kay Seha, it was our first time seeing him get hurt. Like, if that was
well,
Navarrete, how will it play out?
well,
It's
Avalos
hard to
knocked him
imagine.
down. Was able to hurt him.
Yeah, may
Hmm.
nag-aaway sa comment mo.
May nag-aaway ba? Ano pinag-aawayan
Wala,
nila?
parang
But anyway, yun nga, kasi mga counterpunch si Magsayo, counterpuncher kasi. And then, yung kahinaan nila yung mga sluggers like
tama.
Navarrete. The way they throw too much activity, too much pressure sometimes to counter effectively. So sa tingin mo, kailangan niya makipagsabayan kay Navarrete para matalo niya. He needs to push him back, right?
Yes, yes. Tulad ng ginawa ni Gonzalez, he needs to learn how to plant his feet and throw some shots and not
Mhm.
back up. Ito kasi nakikita ko kay Magsayo, pagkatapos niya bumato ng combo, lalabas agad. You can't do that
Yeah.
against Navarrete. You can't give him a break. You can't give him
Mhm.
10 seconds to rest and to move around. Kaya yun lang yung kailangan gawin ng Magsayo. He needs to keep a consistent pace. Hindi pwedeng early rounds napakabilis mo, then 3 rounds magpapahinga ka, and then in the later rounds bigla mong
Yeah.
lalakasan ulit. You can't be inconsistent against Navarrete. He'll take advantage of it.
Oh yeah, that guy has insane cardio, insane
Tama.
activity. Maybe siguro katulad nung ginawa ni Manny Pacquiao against Margarito. You know, Margarito is this calm forward fighter, pressure, big power, and a lot of activity. Tapos, he's a slugger. And yung ginawa ni Pacquiao, inikot-ikutan niya, he didn't move back. The times na he moved straight back, yun yung mga time na nasaktan siya, di ba?
Tama, pero ang instinct kasi ni Magsayo, move back eh. Hindi siya side
Yun
to
nga
side
eh.
masyado. Oo. So, kailangan niyang
May,
hmm,
against that, yung nakalaban niya before Seha, he did pretty well, pero yun nga, that guy didn't offer any resistance. So, ano pa bang gusto niyo malaman, guys? Well, andito si the boxing nerd or ring roadmap. Do you guys have any questions for him? Naku, mukhang nagkakainlaban yata sa dito tayo pinapakinggan. Sila lang yung nagliligawan sa chat natin. Are you still there? Uy, nawala yata si ring roadmap. Actually, ang dami ko nabasa kanina. Gusto talaga ng face reveal. Let's go with Donaire. That's my... Oo. Pulverizer is going with Donaire? I thought Casimero to. Alright, nawala na si ring roadmap. Invite natin siya ulit. Si boxing nerd, taga QC daw. By Diego, pwede background mo reggae music. I'll have to figure out how to do that kasi I'm new to this YouTube thing, streaming. Private chat. Nasaan ka na, Ring Road Map? Wait. Rinate lang kami, Diego. Yeah, virgin ba talaga? It's my first time. Thank you na you guys have been very... Ayun, bumalik na siya. Add to stream.
Ako ba yung nawala o ikaw?
Ikaw bro.
Ay, ako, okay. Nawala kasi yung video mo kanina. Tapos, bigla din ako nawala. Yan, siguro sa akin yan. Anyway.
Yeah. So ano pa ba? Let's talk about Jonah Sultan.
Sultan.
Okay. Ano sa tingin mo yung future ni Jonah Sultan? I already think na mananalo siya against that what's the name of the guy he's fighting? The Puerto Rican guy. Ano sa tingin mo yung future ni Jonas? How good is this guy?
Well, I don't know hindi ko pa napanood yung makakalaban niya sa totoo lang. Pero, ang nakikita ko talaga kay Jonas is he has strength that is a gift. You can't do it through strength and conditioning. You can't train it. It's a kind of strength that is built in. And so, although he doesn't have the best punches, he doesn't have the best punching power, the strength is what... First of all, the strength wears his opponents down. Hindi niya na kailangan sumuntok. All he has to do is like push them around and they're gonna get tired. Pangalawa, yung strength can be attributed also to immunity. Ibig sabihin, hindi siya ganun kadali matablan ng mga suntok, hindi siya ganun kadali So, although he's not the best at causing damage, he's the best at receiving damage. You know, he knows how to... He's immune to those kind of punches. He's immune to those kind of threats. Kaya, ang tingin ko talaga kay Sultan, he can still train his punching ability, pero ang pinaka-asset talaga niya is yung strength and yung toughness, physical toughness.
Yeah, yung physicality niya, no? Especially if he learns how to impose his strength. Parang Mike Tyson and yeah, malakas talaga si Jonah Sultan. Nakwento niya nga sa, I think na-interview ko siya sa kaninong live yun, kay ano yata, kay shoutout kay TUC. Na nung paglipat niya daw sa Amerika, yung parang mas lumakas siya. Not necessarily because of sa strength and conditioning niya with Memo. Sabi niya nga, mas mahirap pa daw yung strength and conditioning dito sa Pilipinas kaysa kay Memo. Sabi niya, what made the difference is yung nutrition, yung mga pinapasok niya sa katawan niya. Yung talaga sabi niya, parang,
meron din siyang private nutritionist, gaya ni Angkahas, or wala?
I think si Memo lang siguro yung gumagawa ng meal plan, and then si Brendan Gibbons yata yung nagluluto.
Si Magsayo ba yun? Tingin ko merong isa sa kanila na may private nutritionist.
Yeah, si Magsayo meron, and si Angkahas. Yung kasi, itong mga fighters natin, they're high performance na mga machines. Hindi mo pwedeng, ang Ferrari, hindi mo pwede lagyan ng kung ano, ng gasolina lang, di ba?
Tama.
So, sometimes, yung nutrition mo, napaka-importante niyan. The way you treat your body. Resting also, hindi lang bugbugan sa training. Yun yung problema natin dito siguro sa Pilipinas. Ang daming gutom, and then I guess they don't get the right food. Ano yung sa experience mo? Kasi you're an athlete, you're a boxer. And then may nakahalubilo ka na rin na pro athletes. Ano yung experience mo sa nutrition? Sa nutritions nila and yung sa'yo? How do you keep in shape? What do you eat? Tinitignan mo ba yung mga kinakain mo?
Well, for me, I have just a list of the foods that I am allowed to eat and I'm not allowed to eat. And I only track calories nung talagang nagko-compete pa ako. I only track calories, hindi ako nagta-track ng protein, hindi ako nagta-track ng fats or carbohydrates. I only track calories because that's all I need to maintain my weight. And so sa mga boksingero diyan, I think that's really important too. You need to track your calories. You can care less about the macros unless, you are really that conscious about your nutrition. Pero nung ako kasi nagko-compete, calories lang talaga, and then I had a list of what I am allowed to eat and what I'm not allowed to eat. Like I don't eat pids. Hmm?
Paano mo na ano yung ano, paano mo nalaman yung what you're allowed to eat and what you're not allowed to eat?
Yeah, so here's the thing. I looked at a lot of dietitians. I looked at the point of view of the keto diet. I looked at the point of view of the vegan diet. I looked at the point of
Mhm.
view of the ano tawag dun sa diet na, is the oldest form of diet. And then I kind of had my own way of looking at things at doon ko na ano. Like I don't take dairy. You know, I don't eat eggs as well. That's just
Oh,
for me. I can't eat eggs. Yeah.
why? May nangyayari ba? May epekto sa katawan mo pag kumakain ka ng itlog?
It well, first off, it messes up my stomach sa totoo lang.
Ah,
Pero yeah, at
that's too bad.
pangalawa, yeah, I can't eat eggs, scrambled eggs. I can't do that. At pangalawa, it's too fatty. So, you know, that's also one
Hmm.
reason.
Can you tell our audience kung about your boxing career? Ano yung weight mo? Sang weight class ka lumalaban? Ano yung weight mo ngayon? Can you tell
Okay,
us
so
about that?
tama. So nung 12 ako, I was only training at home. Then nung nag-turn ako ng 15, dun ako tumungtong sa unang gym. And they were like, "Uy, may galaw 'to, ilang taon ka na nagte-training?" And they didn't believe me when I said that I was only training at home. Sabi,
Hmm.
"Anong sa bahay-bahay? Imposible, may coach ka dati 'no? Nagko-compete ka na dati 'no?" Because a lot of amateurs in the Philippines actually, they lie about their experience. Sasabihin nila
Oh,
zero
yeah?
pa lang yung fights nila, and then they actually have 20 fights. Ano, ba't nila ginagawa yun? Well, here's the thing, the less fights you have, the lesser level your opposition will be. So yung mga kadalasan mga amateurs nagsisinungaling. This is the dark part of amateur boxing. Nagsisinungaling sila, sasabihin nila, 5 pa lang laban ko. When in reality, they've had 50 fights already. At pag tumungtong sila sa ring, they would carry that record with them. Tapos may mga kalaban sila na low level and they would beat the guy up. Everyone would like, wow, wow, wow. But the thing is, they faked it. They faked their credentials. They faked their record. And it's the dark side of amateur boxing na siguro hindi alam ng karamihan. Napakadaming sinungaling sa amateur boxing.
Ano yung record mo sa amateur?
Amateur, I only had 16. I had 14 and 2. Yeah, 16 fights. Kasi late ako nag-start.
Anong weight class ka lumalaban ngayon?
Ngayon, well, my last fight was in 2018 actually. At nung nagsimula yung pandemic, gusto ko sana lumaban ulit kaso nagsimula yung pandemic. And then
Yeah.
doon na ako natigil. Doon na medyo lumaki katawan ko because I didn't really care much. Like for me, my walk around weight, I think of it as, am I comfortable or am I not comfortable? Kasi anong silbi na malapit ka sa fighting weight mo all year round kung hindi ka komportable. And me, I'm comfortable at the 130 to 135 range, but I'm fighting at the 115. Now, if I decide to walk around at 125 to or at 120 to 125, that will be closer to my fighting weight. But am I comfortable at that weight? Am I feeling healthy at that weight? You guys have to remember na mga boksingero, hindi lang puro boxing yan, may ibang priorities. So I need the energy to be able to do other things in my life. Kung gugutumin ko yung sarili ko para lang maging malapit ako sa fighting weight ko all year round, then I'm not gonna be at the optimal condition that I want to be. Hindi lang ako nagbo-boxing. I also have other things to do. So my body needs to be at the most comfortable state, and that is usually at around 130 to 135.
Hmm. Hindi alam ng tao, hindi, this guy is 5'10". So,
Ah,
Parang Fundora to sa weight class niya. Siya
yeah,
yung
parang
pinakamalaki doon. So 126 ngayon, or
ngayon,
kung
nasa ano ako,
kung may
150 po.
no, kung may laban ka, let's
Yeah,
say may laban ka in 2 months. Anong weight
tama.
class ka lalaban?
I start the training at 130 ta's lalaban ako 115.
So Superfly.
Tama, tama.
Ang laki mo.
Naging
5'10" at
5'10".
Superfly.
Yes.
White bully. Ano masasabi mo sa ano? Ano masasabi mo sa, di ba kay Casimero, ang daming nagko-comment sa ang laki niya, 150 plus, tapos lalaban siya sa 118. Anong mga comment mo doon? Ang galing, no? Ang galing ng,
Oo.
I'm surprised he can do that. No?
That's too much for my taste. Yeah, masyadong malaki. That's like 30 plus pounds that he has to lose. Pero
Mm,
he has memo, and for some reason they were able to pull it off, ano? But I personally
mm,
think that those kind of situations, kadalasan, they'll end up like James Toney. They end up in the heavier weight
mm,
divisions in the future. At sana hindi yun mangyari kay Casimero kasi as you get heavier, usually the speed will go down. At
mm.
yun, sana lang alagaan ni Casimero, not to the point na makikita na lang natin siya one day nasa middleweight na or nasa welterweight na. Like, what the fuck? He went from
Ah.
118 to 147? Ano nangyari? Sana hindi siya maging James Toney in the future.
Posible naman siguro yan. I think maybe 122 pwede siya doon. Super bantam and featherweight, the heaviest na. Kasi pag ang mga boxers kasi ngayon, pareho din sa kanya eh. Ang lalaki, di ba? I mean, you look at Ryan Garcia, 135 pounds, pero mas malaki pa siya kay Manny Pacquiao. But he's able to squeeze down to 135 kasi, I mean, he's still young. Parang ikaw, di ba? As you
Actually,
get older,
yeah. Merong
mhm.
interview si Ryan, sabi niya nasa ano daw siya, 160 walk around. It
Oh,
was
look at
it's
that.
on Fight Tips. Fight Tips yung pangalan ng channel. Na-interview siya doon, sabi niya 160 pag walang laban. It's kind of mind-blowing.
Kahit nga sila Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, di ba? They walk around 175 to 180 pounds.
Pati
Pero,
si Mikey ganun, eh.
Mikey Garcia din, ang taba-taba.
Ang taba, oh. Hindi mo akalaing 140 lumalaban. Grabe.
Pero magpupulis na daw si Marky Garcia. So may
Ha?
yung laban pala na yun.
Ayaw niya na?
Ready? Ah,
Ayaw niya na
bang
ba?
class. He got schooled, man. 'Di ba?
In-announce niya na ba na
Na-surprise ka ba?
saan?
Dun sa laban ni Mikey Garcia and that Spaniard.
Oo, alam ko mag-aano na siya, eh. Alam ko magba-bounce back siya ta's ano ulit, magra-rise ulit. Yun yung expectation ko. Pero yun, kita natin. Wala na talaga yung desire niya na manalo. You can just see it in his eyes. Kahit nung nag-announce yung ano, parang, whatever. Parang gano'n yung body language niya. Ano ngayon?
Hmm.
Gano'n. Nakikita mo talaga sa body language niya na wala na siyang pake kung natalo siya. So, I don't know. It's
Actually,
it hmm?
ang tingin ko kasi kay Mikey Garcia, he's one of those guys na hindi naman talaga mahal yung boxing nung una. But then, he realized na may talent siya. He doesn't necessarily have, that burning passion, pero he has a talent and he knows he can make a lot of money doing this. Kaya I think kaya niya to ginagawa eh. Pinagkakakitaan niya lang talaga. There's nothing wrong with that. If kaya mo, then go do it. And then I think, yun nga, gusto niya maging police.
Sinabi
Yung
niya yun?
backup
Police
plan
na?
niya. Yeah.
Ah, hindi ko pa napanood. Police.
Alright. Ano pa bang pwede natin pag-usapan? What do you want to talk about? I think naka-isang oras na din tayo eh.
Yung kay Gaballo, meron ka bang ano doon?
Yun. I almost forgot.
Yeah.
Anong sa tingin mo? Ikaw muna tatanungin ko. What do you think?
Okay.
Gaballo's chances against Donaire.
Gaballo's chances is 1% actually. Pero ganito lang, meron akong disclaimer, hindi ko pa gaano napanood si Gaballo as of the moment. Kaya yung prediction ko puwede magbago the more I watch him. Pero ang pinakauna dito, we don't even have to talk about the technicalities. Let's just talk about the level, the gap of their level, ano? A lot of people say styles make fights. I have to disagree because levels makes fights. This is what I think, ano? And because there are cases sa aking karanasan, merong mga nangyari dati na titignan ko yung isang boksingero ta's i-sparring kong ganyan at nung pinapanood ko siya sabi ko, "Uy, stylistically speaking, I'm going to school this guy." Pero pagkatungtong ko na doon sa ring, puta iba. It's not the
Mm.
style, it's the level. They see things a little faster than you do. They know things a little more than you do. They have experience with more things than you do. At, although stylistically speaking, you can beat them, level-wise, it's a big gap. At yung level na yun, it will supersede the style matchup. Kagaya na lang nung nakasparring ko si Lito Dante. When I watched Lito Dante on tape, I was like, "Man, what the fuck? Kaya ko 'tong patumbahin." When I finally got up there, it's like, ano nangyari? It's the level, it's not the style. So, the level supersedes the style in my opinion.
Yeah, it only style makes fight only matters when magka-level kayo. Diyan
Correct.
makikita yan.
Yun ang kailangan
But
na ano, prerequisite para masabi yun.
alright, so ano masasabi mo kay ano, Gaballo?
Gaballo, okay. Gaballo is good when he lets his hands go. Ang problema, like I watched his fight with this Japanese guy, putang lakas. Pero nung pinanood ko siya laban kay Rodriguez, ba't ganun? Ba't napaka-gun siya eh? You know, it's two conflicting styles. At talagang di ko alam kung sino ba talaga yung or ano ba talaga yung style niya. Is he more of a explosive guy or is he more of a boxer? Hindi ko alam. So I need to watch him more in order to know. Pero sa tingin ko, just like Donaire, he is fighting against two sides. One side wants to let his hands go, and then one side is hesitant. One side is sort of gun shy. Yun.
Because in that fight, he was getting countered all night. And then, ang problema kasi, may nagsabi, before I say anything, sabi ni Brother Anthony, kaibigan natin, na he was a late replacement or something. So he only had a few weeks of training to prepare for that fight. Kaya nagkaganon. But watching it, parang he was thinking too much.
Yeah, hesitant.
Um,
Napaka-hesitant.
yeah, ang sabi nila, ano pangalan nun? Si Rodriguez, Manny Rodriguez, sabi nila na he was negative. Pero hindi naman eh, hindi naman siya tumatakbo. He was just boxing on the back foot. And then he's not committing too much na for him to make mistakes na makapitalize ni Gaballo. I mean, that's him. So, yun nga, ayoko lang sa ginawa ni Gaballo doon. He was trying to box with a great boxer. Should have just went for him, man. And then, napanood mo ba yung may napanood ako na video na I think si Naoya Inoue was able to knock out Gaballo with headgear on.
Parang yun
Inspiring.
ba yung yung nanginig yung tuhod niya? Yun ba yun?
Yeah, nanginig yung
Yes.
tuhod niya.
Para siyang stanky leg. Ang tawag doon.
My goodness. Paano kung tinamaan siya ni Nonito Donaire without headgear on?
Bukod ba dun, have you seen him hurt? Like in his other fights? Kasi hindi ko pa siya ganong... Have you seen him hurt? Like visibly hurt?
Not really.
Oh, kasi ang problema dito is, you know, he might have a game plan pero everything changes once you get hit, once you get hurt. So, hindi kasi natin alam kung yung puso ba ni Gaballo ay nandun, kung if he has that fighting spirit because it hasn't been tested. Nung napatumba siya ni Inoue, hindi natin alam kung anong sumunod na nangyari. Hindi natin alam kung nag-quit siya, kung, you know. So, the mental state again is very crucial here. Because once you get hit, you have these natural tendencies in your brain that you resort to. Tapos ang mangyayari diyan, kapag nasuntok ka na, when you go into that situation where it's life or death, then you will resort back to your natural tendencies. Kahit pa sabihin ng coach mo na may plano kayo or anything, you will go back to those natural tendencies. The problem with Gaballo is we don't know what his natural tendencies are kasi hindi pa nga natin siya nakita na nasaktan masyado. But Donaire, we've seen him time and time again get hurt and go back up. Kaya we need to like, so I'm in doubt whether or not he'll be able to handle the onslaught of Donaire in the fight. Siguro hindi pa natin natetesting yung puso talaga ni Gaballo, which is a big intangible. Napakadami nagsasabi
Yeah,
na ano, it's a big intangible. Ang daming magagaling na boxers na bumabagsak dahil lang wala silang puso.
exactly. And alam naman natin lahat, I'm sure everybody agrees na Gaballo is the underdog, heavy underdog. Pero sa nasabi ko, napag-usapan namin to ni Pau Salud dati, shoutout kay Pau Salud, one of the real ones. Sabi ko na his only chance is to, parang yung style ni Gonzalez against Navarrete, become a little bit dirty. And dikitan niya na si Nonito Donaire like shit on fly. Parang wag niyang bigyan ng space para makasuntok. And then, gulangan niya. Kasi bata pa naman siya, but I'm hoping na he can take a punch. Pero I think that's the only way na makikita ko na mananalo si Gaballo. I mean, make Nonito Donaire feel his age. Fight a young man's fight. Very physical, very rugged. Sa tingin mo, what do you think yung keys to victory ni Gaballo?
Well, nagkakapareho tayo dyan. Ganun din yung opinion ko. I think he needs to make it a fight. And the thing is, he has the physical attributes to show for it. Meron siyang explosiveness, meron siyang stamina. We haven't really seen him like so visibly tired in a fight. He has the youth on his side. So this will all come down to, is he willing to risk it? Is he willing to risk his gas tank for that particular speed and that particular pace of a fight? If he's not willing to do that, then he's not gonna succeed. Like, merong mga instances na nasasaktan ni Gaballo yung kalaban niya, but he doesn't go for the kill. Is that physical or is that mental? In my opinion, it's mental. Kasi yung physical niya, it's been tested so many times already. But his mental is constantly telling him, don't go for the kill yet. Don't go for the kill yet. At yun yung dahilan kung ba't minsan nakikita natin na nagpo-pause siya or nagdadalawang isip pagkatapos niya
Yeah.
masaktan yung kalaban. So, he needs that. He needs that.
Kaya sabi ko, since he's in Florida, he should go wrestle an alligator, patayin niya, drink its blood, get that killer instinct. Sacrifice. Kainin niyo ng buhay ang buhaya. I'm sure andyan yan. I mean, you know what, to be honest, I want to root for the guy. Gaballo. I want to see him succeed. I want him to prove us wrong. And good things are happening for him. I mean, noong una nakalaban niya si Manny Rodriguez and he was lucky to get the decision. Let's be real. And then ngayon, he has the chance to fight Nonito Donaire. Ibang klase, ang daming fighters dyan na hindi nabibigyan ng break. But ang galing siguro ng manager nito, si JC Manangkil. And then of course, MP Promotion is helping with his career also. May parang special partnership sila. May nagtanong dito, anong tawag dito? Ano daw balita kay Tata? Mukhang na-report ni Pau Salud kanina, Pauka Sports, na nasa Manila na daw. I really don't know what's going on. Wala akong idea dyan. Hindi pa kami nagkausap ni Tata. Actually, ang ganda ng state ng boxing ngayon sa Pilipinas. Ito yung naiwan na legacy ni Manny Pacquiao. I mean, a lot of fighters are getting opportunities na hindi na-provide sa kanila dati. Ngayon na andyan na yung Manny Pacquiao promotions, nabibigyan sila ng chance. unfortunately, ewan ko ba, sa ganda ng mga nangyayari ngayon, a lot of fans, you know, they like to dwell on yung mga drama-drama.
Oh boy.
Nagagatungan from both camps. It's just funny. And then lumalabas na rin yung mga internet tough guys, you know. Mga
Mhm.
Tommy Tough Nuts sa tingin mo.
Ganyan na talaga yung ano, YouTube game.
Yun talaga, ano, hindi natin mawaalis yan.
Kaya konti lang ang subs ko eh. Hindi ako nag-YouTube masyado.
Next time, ano, mag-ano tayo, mag-set up tayo nang tayo mag-aaway. Trash talkan tayo. Wala yan. Ayaw nga pakita ng mukha niyan si, ano, Ring Road Map. Bading yan. Pretty boy yan.
Gawa ko ng script.
Ng script.
Oh boy.
But yeah, that's why I'm glad na to all the people who are listening, I'm glad na andito si Ring Road Map na he keeps it boxing. I mean, it's very tempting to beef up with people, create drama and controversy, talk about those things, to get subs and views. Kasi yun naman talaga yung kumikita. But this guy, he'd rather make film studies. And meron din siya mga demonstrations doon. He teaches people. I forgot to ask you, why are you doing this? Ba't mo ginagawa tong mga film studies na to? What's your motivation for this?
Like, at first, I did it for myself kasi nung nagko-compete ako, naghahanap ako ng mga technique sa internet. Sabi ko, putang ina, paulit-ulit. Wala lang bago. And so, I started doing my own studying at dun na unti-unting na-improve yung abilidad ko na manood ng mga laban at aralin ito, i-analyze ito in a way that's unique. Like, if you look at every one of my videos, walang nauulit. Walang nauulit. And it's because I see every detail and I don't try to make it repetitive. Ang problema sa mga nag-ano ngayon, they have a theory or they have a particular teaching, tas paikot-ikot na lang yung content nila around that. Ito ang nakikita natin sa karamihan ng mga boxing coaches sa YouTube, no? Paulit-ulit na lang yung mga content. And so my thing is, at first I did it for myself, tas nung nagsimula na akong gumawa ng videos, nakikita ko yung mga boxingero na nagbe-benefit sa mga film studies na 'to. At nung ginawa ko yung aking Patreon, I got to meet or I got to talk to boxers at dun ko na nakita yung beauty talaga ng technicalities. It's like they start messaging me, sabi nila, "Hey, after 3 months, I've learned more on you than I did with my coach for 4 years." Like, it's amazing.
Really?
Yung tatlong buwan daw nila sa'kin, mas madami pa silang natutunan kaysa sa coach nila na kasama nila ng 4 years. It's because a lot of people see things or I see things that a lot of people don't see. At nanggaling yan sa desire ko na talagang aralin 'tong sport na 'to in a way that's not usual, it's not cliche, it's not something na napapanood niyo sa ibang channel. And so, yun,
Yeah.
that's what makes it unique, man.
So how does that work when you're coaching somebody or teaching somebody remotely? Diba yung mga estudyante mo, there's one from Canada and US. How does that work?
Okay. So, first off, I make a program for them that's monthly. Ano. And so that's the reason why I don't go for subs on YouTube. Like, I can charge these people $100 and they'd pay me because the value is so high, man. Pero hindi naman gano'n kamahal yung singil ko. But it's monthly, and like what I do is they send me videos every day and then I study it and then we make the necessary adjustments. So every day there is a new technique that they add and there is a new technique that they correct. At unti-unti mag-a-add up yan throughout the years. And of course, I divide the days between the days na pupunta sila sa gym and the days na sila lang yung magte-training. And so, sometimes kasi yung mga coaches, sila yung nagdidikta ng gagawin mo, eh. Ilang rounds ng pad work, ilang rounds ng heavy bag. So what I do is I divide it. Merong mga days na magme-meet sila sa coach nila at dun sila magte-training. Meron naman yung pupunta lang sila sa boxing gym, sila lang, walang coach. Ta's sila yung bahala sa workout nila. Yun yung mga pinapagawa ko. Hindi ako nangingialam sa coach nila, hindi ako nangingialam sa gustong gawin ng coach nila. I work on the technicalities at kadalasan yung coach na nilang nagwo-work sa physical part, sa stamina, conditioning, ganyan-ganyan. Di na ako nangingialam. But I have the option to like do strength and conditioning because bago ako maging boxer, I actually studied strength training as well. Basic strength training.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So, may mga coaches na pala to and you're just providing like
Supplementary,
second
no?
pair
Like
of eyes.
supplemented
Yeah,
training.
yeah. Yeah, I think that helps naman talaga.
Because the coaches, you have to
Especially,
remember, napakadami nitong mga kliyente, so they can't pay attention to
ang dami.
everyone the way I do.
Exactly.
Oo. So, yun yung nakikita kong nakukulangan talaga sila sa attention. At when they go to me, they're like, man, I'm really happy kasi ngayon lang ako nakakuha ng ganitong kalalim or ganito ka-comprehensive na analysis sa boxing style ko. Sa coach ko kasi ang dami niyang tine-training, ganyan-ganyan. Yan yung kadalasan ko
Yeah.
naririnig. Hindi na ako napapansin, magho-hold lang siya ng pads ta's hindi na ako kakausapin, parang gano'n. Wala ng attention na naibibigay sa kanila.
This is so strange. Paano to nagsimula? Oh, how did you start with this? Diba, did you make this channel, tapos gumawa ng film studies, and then people contacted you? Paano to nagsimula? I'm curious lang.
It started 3 years ago. Ang nangyari doon is, like, I was thinking of content to put out. Ang problema, wala akong high quality camera. So I thought that maybe I can download a screen recording app, sabi kong ganyan. Tapos doon na lang ako gagawa ng content. I'll record my screen and then I'll speak. That way, hindi na ako kailangan bumili ng, mamahaling camera para mag-vlog or anything like this. I just have to record my screen. And the breakdowns or the analysis was the best way to do that. I did not need to, hindi ko kailangan mag-ikot-ikot tapos itututok ko yung camera. I don't have to worry about camera angles. Alam ko galing ka sa photography. You know how complicated that can get, You don't have to, you don't have to worry about the visuals. You just have to record your screen and explain your point. Kaya yun yung nakita ko talagang convenience dito sa ganitong uri ng content. And secondly, actually dati hindi ko plinano na i-reveal na Pilipino ako. I did not want to expose it to everyone that I was a Filipino kasi alam ko na mabilis or alam ko na napaka-toxic ng mga Pinoy fans, unfortunately.
What are you talking about? I'm a Pinoy
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
Gusto mo, suntukan na lang.
And so I did not want to like reveal it back then. At nakatulong din yung accent ko, medyo parang African American, no? At yan yung naging dahilan,
negro.
napagtakpan ko siya for a while. Pero nung napapansin na ng mga tao na puro Pinoy boxers ang ina-analyze ko, sabi nila, "Are you Filipino? Are you Filipino?" I'm like, "No, yes." Sabi ko gano'n. So, doon na nila nalaman and now I get like 15 to 20% my total viewers are Filipinos. Kaya yun, meron
15%?
15 to 20. It's
konti lang.
It's second to the US viewers. US viewers are like 41% base sa analytics.
That only, kasi yung mga Amerikano, they're very analytical in their, di ba? Don't you agree? Yung kultura nila. Guys, meron naman tayong option. Marami kasi tayong matututunan when it comes to, lalo na boxing, comes to technique. Para pag nag-usap tayo, may idea na tayo pag nakikipagdebate, di ba? Hindi lang yung puro drama ay pinag-uusapan. Yun yung pinagdedebatihan eh. Kalokohan na lang. And yeah, I do appreciate na may mga tao na katulad mo, katulad nila Pao Salud. Especially, wala pa ako masyadong napapanood dito, especially in this YouTube game na Filipino and they do film studies and all those stuff. Akala ko nga hindi ka Pilipino. So I'm glad. Kaya nung talaga nag-usap tayo after nung nalaman ko na Pilipino ko, di ba? Alala ko sa comment section lang tayo nag-uusap noon, ang haba ng threads natin until na talagang I invited you to my Discord page.
Oo, di ko rin kasi alam yung ano, yung
Yeah.
anong pinag-uusapan niyo doon. So, nagdalawang isip ako nung una.
Kung may mga nakikinig na boxers or mga aspiring boxers dito sa atin, pag may napakinggan, where can they find you? How do they contact you if they wanna avail your services?
Okay. So, meron sa mga free content, it's on YouTube. Pero pag it's private, if it's private training, I can do Patreon. I have students from around the globe. Sa ngayon, 4 na lang siya. Yung isa kasi ay finally he moved on with his career, and he was like, it's cool now. Madami na akong natutunan sa'yo and I'll have to move on. Pero yeah, I have a Patreon. You can go there. You can pay with your card or with PayPal actually, and that would be the best for like serious boxers. Pero if you're just a boxing fan, I'm not gonna force you to fucking spend money on it. Just go on my channel. It's free, and give that channel a subscribe, man. Yun lang.
Yeah. Actually, kung gusto mahihirapan yung mga tao dito. A lot of people here don't have credit cards yet. Maybe you should think about getting like a GCash or some sort.
Pwede naman sa mga Pilipino. Yeah, pwede.
Yeah, Filipino.
Pero yung mga
I
foreigner
think,
kasi mga card yan. Mahilig
yeah.
gumamit ka ng credit card. So, they have no problem.
Ang lakas nila mangutang.
Oh.
Ako nga, wala na akong credit card.
Ngayon?
Ginupit ko na after no oh my goodness. 2 years ago. Nagalit si Mrs. Bandido kasi, yeah, I like to shop. Pero,
Paano mo tinatago yung pera mo in that case?
Yeah, I just have a bank account and
okay.
sa ilalim ng kama.
Kaya hindi natatrack ng asawa mo yung spendings.
No, hindi I don't spend anymore. I just spend a lot of time on the internet now.
Ang daming bagay na useless na ngayon, technically. Dahil sa situation. Mga magagarang damit, hindi na ganong in demand. Yeah.
So, all right, it's been an hour.
Closing remarks? Okay.
Yes. Kasi naka-isang oras na din tayo and actually naiihi na rin ako. Kausapin ko muna yung mga tao sa chat. Ayun, si Anthony, Bathsheba Singson, Renzigays, official, Madcat. Maraming salamat. Ang dami pala I didn't expect we peaked at around 24, man. Konti pa lang yung subs ko, but thank you guys for listening. Thank you for coming here. And Anthony, no, Mrs. Bandido reveal. No way. There's a bunch of degenerates here on YouTube. I'm not gonna expose my family. And then, yeah, all right. Maraming salamat na pumayag ka sa pinaunlakan mo yung invite ko kasi yeah, bago pa lang ako dito sa this YouTube game. Really, I'm just trying to gauge kung pwede na ba ako mag-host. I'm just pag-aaralan ko 'to mamaya kung saan ako pwede makakapag-improve.
Magpa-jacket ka daw.
Pa-jacket?
Gawin mo moderator.
What does that mean?
Yeah,
Moderator.
You need to turn them into a moderator.
I really don't know how to do that yet.
Yeah, pwede mo na lang iyan mamaya. Kasi
mamaya siguro.
Parang nila yan tuwang-tuwa sila pag nakukuha nila yung position na yan. Pagiging moderator.
Yeah, anyway, sabihin ko lang yung plano ko dito sa Mahal Kita podcast. I wanna interview a bunch of people, hindi lang about boxing. Pero ngayon lang, dahil sa mga nangyayari ngayon, I thought it was fitting na interviewin ko kausapin natin si uh, ring roadmap kasi he
Ano
has,
daw YouTube ko, man?
ha? Anong YouTube ni sa'yo?
Kasi
Ring roadmap. Kasi ikaw, ba't mo nilagyan ng the boxing nerd? You're confusing people, man.
kaya hindi ko pa napalitan yung avatar.
Ay, di ba napalitan yung avatar?
Yung luma yan eh.
Anyway, before I buy equipments, I'm just waiting for the new iMac. So,
iMac ka.
yeah, para may right now I'm just doing everything on my phone. So, mahirap. But so I have like until next year. I've been practicing going on people's stream. That's why I want to thank Pauka Sports for giving me, a platform. And then the TUC, shout out sa mga TUC family dyan. Scoots Ricky, madalas ako dyan. I mean, it's good to, iba kasi pag ano eh, I'm not used to talking online and all that, pero slowly, natututo. And this hosting, it's a new thing for me, it's another challenge. We gotta learn. I just don't want to do stuff for the sake of it. I want to do it properly as much as possible. So pag-aaralan natin 'yan.
Okay.
So maraming salamat sa iyo, Ring Roadmap for joining me and then popping my cherry. Do you have any closing remarks?
Ang haba niyan sa totoo lang 1 hour 36 minutes for
Yeah.
a first timer. Medyo okay na yan. Kadalasan kasi karamihan madaling maboring so hindi tumatagal ng ganyan katagal. But for this one, okay siya. Tingin ko pag may mga susunod kang guests, you can make it like long enough and engaging enough as well. Yeah. Yung channel ko
Yeah.
is ayan. Hirap hanapin YouTube niya. What?
Can you post it? Ring Roadmap. Ayan, si 2.0 soon. Kilala ka niyan.
Yan, thank you.
Kala niya rin, negro ka.
Madali lang
And he
mahanap
has,
yan. Wala akong kapangalan.
he has bones to pick with you, man. Galit sa'yo yan, si 2.0. Just kidding. So,
Interesting. Well done.
thank you very much, Matt Cat, for your support. All you guys, maraming salamat. Any more, last message sa mga nakikinig sa atin?
Well, nasabi mo na. So, yeah. Thank you for inviting me here. And I didn't expect it. So, totoo lang. Pero, ayan, it's good to spread content that is non-toxic, that is purely boxing. This is what it should be. Kaso, madami kasing mga tao na naghahawaan ng ganong klaseng negative energy, no? Look, if I start bringing up an issue and I start giving that to my friends, and my friends start giving it to their friends, it's contagious. Kaya karamihan ng mga viewers ngayon, iisa na lang ang hanap sa YouTube. Especially boxing fans, isa na lang hanap nila. It's constantly issues and nonsense stuff na hindi naman makakatulong sa buhay nila, and that energy is contagious. So my advice for all of those viewers or all of those fans, you need to start looking for content creators that are having this positive energy all the time. That will transfer over to your life, and that will transfer over to other areas of your life. Hindi lang sa pagiging isang social media user. You can also translate that into the way you pick your friends, in the way you pick your connections, in the way you choose who you hang around with. So definitely look for that positive energy sa YouTube and do not engage in all of these issues. At the end of the day, ano bang natutulong yan sa buhay nyo? It's very little. It has very little contribution to your life. Siguro ang nako-contribute lang ito is it keeps you occupied during the night. It keeps your mind occupied. But if you save that energy for something else, you'd be so much more productive. I'm telling you. So, yun lang. Subscribe po kayo sa akin. Thank you.
Very well said. I agree 100%. And nakita nyo naman, magaling magsalita to si Ring Roadmap. Not only magaling siya magboxing, panoorin nyo, pinapakita niya doon, nag-demonstrate siya ng mga boxing techniques and all that. Hopefully, yung itong mga content, what we do is we consume them, di ba? And you are what you eat. If you keep consuming negative stuff, malaking na magkakasakit ka rin, di ba? Malaking posibilidad. So anyway, thank you very much. Salamat sa lahat na makinig. Gagawin kong moderator yung marami dito eventually. I just have to
Opo, papalitan ko po yung avatar ko soon.
you just have to figure out how to do this thing. Anyway, lobat na rin ako. Maraming salamat
Thank you,
sa
sir.
lahat. And see you on the next one. Bye-bye. And broadcast.